that if we have one of us, ophume eceleni, asimncengi.
Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. I hope you guys had a decent day. I'm really reluctant to say a good day because it reminds us of what really transpired in 1976. So many political parties, political leaders, they've been going around making speech in celebration of this day called Youth Day, that is to celebrate the 1976 movement. Well, as we go around listening to these leaders, one leader in particular, the former president, Mr. Jacob Zuma, he caught the attention of many, including the daily updates. And what he said was very interesting. I think in most days, we don't really have to take things as they are. We really need to analyze to understand what made one to say such statements. That is why the next coming video is of Jacob Zuma, which I think are indirect shots at the former SG, Mr. Floyd Shivambu. You really need to listen to this in order to understand that there is no other person that the president could definitely be referring to other than Floyd Shivambu.
If you look seriously, you'll realize that if we have one of us, ophume eceleni, asimncengi. Let me just tell you, abantu sebeke baba o Secretary General kule sebe u7 manje.
So I want you guys to underline some of these statements by the president, Mr. Jacob Zuma, the president of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party. He says that if one of us is out of line, we don't back them. And goes on to speak about, we've already heard about 7 secretary generals. If any one of us gets out of line, we don't back them. And we have already had 7 secretary generals. I want you guys to underline that message. Let us continue.
Ngoba sidlali. Noma ngabe uzazi ukuthi umkhulu, uyathandwa, uyikho konke, we don't care. We talk about our party. Laba bala kule party, abathi mabebona umuntu engasebenzi sikhuluma lesazi ukuthi kwenze njani noma eneyinkinga noma onile. Ebese sithi awusuke. Akekho umuntu odala ukuthi uyohlala esikhundleni kuyozangena ezulwini ayikho lonto.
I just need to put a disclaimer out there to say that I'm not really Zulu. So my translation of Zulu might not be 100% accurate, but listening to what the president just said, he's basically saying that no one will stay on a position until heaven comes. I stand to be corrected. But listen, he's speaking about we don't back them. And then he's speaking about we've already had 7 secretary generals. And then no one will stay on a position until heaven comes. I think there's a better translation of that. But who is he speaking about? What is the main idea behind the statement? Because you can even look at the facial expression of the president. When he says we don't back them, he's not just bluffing. The face shows that the man is serious and he wants a very serious message to be heard. Let us continue.
Akuyona indaba yakho if you don't know. Ozubuza ukuthi kwenze njani. Kunabantu abaze bathi bafuna ukulokhuza ukuprotesta ngoba sithatha idecision ethile. Kusho ukuthi ayikakheki le party le. Ayikakheki ngalendlela esifuna ngayo. Nginitshela impela. Nani nivume impela nize nixoxe indaba nibhale ngayo. Yini yona le sifuna inkululeko la. Asivikeli umuntu. Sikhuluma nomonke umuntu la. Nalabe sathi kuqala bahambe azange sibaxoshe.
You read the body language of the president and how serious he is when he's addressing this issue and speaking about the fact that there are people who are trying to protest against the decision of removing Floyd Shivambu as the Secretary General. It is a firm posture that the president is taking. And to be honest, he's sending a very serious message to say that no one is going to put the party into disrepute. if you don't want to be in the party, you have to go, because there is no one who's going to now come and protest against a decision that has been made by the high command. That word high command, I want you to underline it, because in a few minutes it is going to come and it is a bit funny, but underline the high command. So basically, going back to the issue of Floyd, I've been saying for some time, there are a lot of infightings there in the MK party. And it seems like there are a lot of groups. It's not just two. It seems like there are a lot of groups. There is a group that is for Floyd Shivambu. There is a group that is for Mary Party, Zuma. There is a group that is probably in the center of President Jacob Zuma. So the group of Jacob Zuma is siding more on the Duduzile and the party. Now you have the group of Floyd. It is going to be coined as a disgruntled group. Have you seen the message by Floyd, Maibuye Africa? You also have to underline it, because it is going to come in the next coming months, that Maibuye Africa. So now you look at this issue of Floyd. Why would the president now decide to come addressing the youth, speak about, we have about seven SGs that have passed. We've put them there on the position. They have been removed. Why would he decide to speak about it? Why would he speak about we don't back them? Because if there's any person who's currently gaining more momentum in the Umkhonto weSizwe, that has to be Floyd. And whether they like it or not, MK Party knows that the departure of Floyd would be very harmful to the party. They know that. If they don't know, then I'm worried, because you had millions of people voting for you. It cannot be that when so many people put faith in you and you just have to drop the ball like that, what are you then going to hold on to? The fact that the votes have been rigged. Let's say maybe you had won. There is no issue of rigged. You had won the elections. Were we going to have 7 presidents in the country? Really? Were we going to have issues being settled without any storm, without any blood, without any problems? I think winning the election is quite big. Let's say you were governing KwaZulu-Natal. Were things going to go on smooth? Because if really you were going to have a smooth government in the province of KZN, then we are not supposed to see what we are seeing currently. It's a mess. But then again, I might be called names where people might say that I am against Umkhonto weSizwe. I'm definitely not. I'm neutral. And I'm speaking what I'm currently seeing, because it looks like Floyd is in the cold. The cold front is nothing to what Floyd is experiencing at the moment. And to be honest, MK Party will really regret losing Floyd if really he goes. So I'm here saying that the message you are hearing from the president, there is no other individual we can point to except Floyd. They said it. We don't back them. Are you waiting to be backed? Or are you going to have a backbone and make your bed, Floyd? Because things are tough out there. It is winter. And the air condition in the MK Party is on -1. Are you really going to stay there? But then again, let us watch the next clip about the high command.
Ngoba kwakunezinto ezirong singafuni ukubaphoxa sitsheni isizwe ukuthi boneni ngoba iningi labo loneli kukhulu. Manje why bese ningena indaba ningayazi? Why ke ningewona olokhuza nihlala nithi yini lento lephezulu lapha? Lenhlangane makuthiwa manje abadala kakhulu abaphethe kakhulu phezulu kuthiwa yini? Anyone high command.
Perhaps someone might ask, what is the point of you playing that video? I have to say, it is not in bad taste. And what I want to say in regards to that video is that the president is delivering a message and he forgets a word, high command. And he goes from the angle of cameras and goes out of it and goes to ask someone, what is that again? It's about close to 1 minute. And then he comes back, they remind him it's high command. Is this not a message, really, people in the MK party? Is this not a message to say, Bab Zuma, please go and rest? We are going to need advice from you as the elder. But the president, no. Go and rest. Go and enjoy your time. Don't be like the former leaders of Africa who are in the history book for wanting to stay in power forever. Don't do that. Really. We have a president whom we love, who has a history, and he's forgetting high command. It's not just about forgetting. It's the fact that give the president time off, and by time off, we don't mean 1 month. Remove the president from being the president and maybe elect someone. And once you do that, you are going to need advice from the former president, Jacob Zuma. If you have internal issues, go and consult with him. But don't have him as the president because it's really a mess. Are we going to really wait forever and look at MK party turning into something that we never imagined it? Because they spoke about 2/3 majority, liberating the black people. How are you going to liberate me as a black person while you can't even liberate yourself inside that party? That is the question. And I must say, if you guys want to support the channel, there are 2 things that you can do, which is subscribe and also becoming a member. A membership is just $5.99 per month, very cheap. You just go to join next to a subscribe. There is join. You click join and you just fill the details and become a member, supporting this channel, helping it to grow. Other than that, there is nothing against the president but to say, Floyd, if you don't run, they're going to chase you away, my man. Until next time. Cheers.